firstly, good luck to everyone competing in the 2022 Open. 22.1 is a triplet. In 15 minutes, complete as many rounds and reps as possible of 3 wall walks, 12 dumbbell snatches, and 15 box jump overs. Let the games begin.
Thank you, Tia. Welcome to the announcement, ramble, review, just general bad commentary, and mostly second-guessing professional athletes for this year's 22.1 workout. I'm going to cover off some stuff from the workout, some movement standards. We'll look at some documents. We'll look at some measurements. We'll look at some just nerdy shit around 22.1. The short version is it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like everyone will be able to do some version of this workout. So if you haven't signed up yet, www.games.crossfit.com. Pause this, go sign up, come back. So the wall walks are going to be the standard stuff. That's going to be what we've been practicing all year, almost every week of the year. You have to start with your fingers over the line. And the only thing that'll catch people is you'll notice that her feet go on the wall before her hands move. Yeah, the dumbbell snatches, man, we have done, if we've done wall walks every week, we've done dumbbell snatches every week. It's standard stuff there. Both heads of the dumbbell on the floor, stand it tall, both heads of the dumbbell back to the floor, alternate each rep. The boxes, the only rule here that seems kind of new is the step down thing. So you have to step off the box each time. You cannot jump down from the box and rebound. So that's awesome because that's what we've always preached. You can change the dumbbells anywhere. You don't have to. It used to be like you had to change below the face or I don't know, some stupid thing. But change anywhere. As long as right arm, then left arm, then right arm, then left arm, all's good in the hood. Oh, she's muted now, so you can't hear her, but she did say that if anyone drops a dumbbell, you're disqualified from the entire open process for 10 years. We'll see it a bit more when we look at the demo athletes, but see how she's jumping slightly side on? Yeah, that's the go. That's the go. But what she's maybe missing there, or, she's doing this for her demonstration purposes, so who knows exactly what she's attempting to show here. But aim to land with broad feet and have feet land at the same time. That's not a rule. That's a pro tip. So feet landing at the same time, I'm sure you've heard it mentioned, your chance of tripping over the box is much, much lower if your feet land at the same time. And if your feet land broad, you can just sort of slip off the other side. It's Kayla Banfield. I think she's James Newberry's girlfriend. And can you confirm? All right, the Boz. If you hang around for the last part of this whole presentation, you find out he'll be taking over the programming for the CrossFit Games, which is kind of cool. He's been around, I think, as long as Dave Castro. He might have even been earlier. I don't know. We'll look into that. I won't look into that. Now, straight up, you can see that Olsen is just faster on those wall walks. He's just yeeting his body up to the wall. But if you've been watching for a couple of years, and, I watched this thing live an hour ago, so I know that it works out like this, but Noah Olsen is the king of going out too hot. And that's not a terrible strategy. Like, oh, it's raining outside. Matt Fraser spoke about that sort of stuff in his book. It's been a thing in running, especially distance running, for the longest time, that if you create a gap between the person you're trying to beat, even if you know you can't maintain the gap, if you can just create it for a short period of time and give the impression that, bro, you shouldn't even try and keep up with me because I'm so far ahead of you. Sometimes you can psych the other person out. Or not sometimes, like very, very often. Way more often than you might think. So, Olsen's not an idiot. Like, he's been doing this for a while. He understands how his body works. But I think that is his go-to strategy, is he's trying to convince people that they should just not try and keep up with him. As mentioned earlier, you can see sort of these guys, yeah, they land broad. Olsen's doing more of a 1 foot, 2 foot landing. And I think Pat's doing more of his feet landing at the same time. But as we've already established, Olsen lives on the edge, which is a place I do not live. But yeah, if you land with that broad foot, see how Pat's foot lands like half off? He just slides off. Yeah, that's what I'll be, in the first round at least, that's what I'll be going for. The wall walks, I feel like these are the things that can kind of sneak up on you. Now, if you look at these guys, they did about 11 rounds. So they did, 33 wall walks. We've done workouts with 33 or more wall walks. That's not a crazy number. But the problem, like one of the catches in this workout is all these movements, if they're movements you can do, they're all pretty easy and short reps, and you'll just be going from move to move to move. So your enemy is not going to be massive muscle fatigue. You're going to gas out, or you might get something real specific. So like how the boys, well, actually he's landing, it kind of looks like he's landing high on one and low on the other, or maybe that's just because I'm looking at his high leg and his, yeah, okay. Looking at Olsen there, yeah, you can see one leg is much higher than the other, so the leg that lands lower will get a bit more trashed in the quads. But yeah, it's if these guys are getting 11 rounds, we can hope to get 6. Like if we get 6, maybe 6 and a bit, we'll be doing really well. You might think, well, 6 rounds, that's more than 2 minutes a round, and these guys are into their 3rd round at 3.5 minutes. So that's the kind of times I will be working with in my first 6 or 7 minutes. I'll be like, okay, if I can get to the 8-minute mark and be somewhere around 3.5 rounds, pretty happy. Now, another thing that will probably vary greatly for these guys versus us humans is, 1, they're doing muscle snatches the whole time, and 2, they set up in a pretty high position. So you can see they're lowering their hips almost to 0. So I'll be setting up my hips a little lower, which will slow down the dumbbell snatches a little. But having things like slow individual repetitions is not going to destroy your score. Because if we go back, hang on, what are we doing first rounds in here? Okay, so for 37 seconds, he's onto the box jumps. So at 37 seconds, if you're done with the wall walks, you're doing all right. Maybe you've got 3 or 4 snatches in the bag at that sort of time. Boom, and he's onto the box jumps. So if we just sort of fast forward a bit there, so what's he got? 3, 2, 1 more. Okay, so 1 minute and 4 seconds for his first round. So if he's holding that pace, he would be at 14 rounds. But we know from the thingy that he got 10 and almost finished the 11th. So he's dropping off significantly. If you get to the end of your first round and you're under 90 seconds, you've probably gone out way too hot. Now they're, okay, so 12-minute mark, they're now back to level. So Olsen had like a, 5 to 8 rep lead the whole thing. And now all of a sudden, okay, they're literally, like, they couldn't be close. Okay, Vellner is straight on because Vellner has just held his own pace. He has avoided getting caught up in whatever Noah Olsen is doing, which is probably just generally good advice. He's had some pretty questionable hairstyles in the past. Now, Pat is pulling that sort of 1-2 rep lead because he just got on the dumbbells a little quicker. And once he gets on those box jumps, he holds the exact same pace he had in the first round. Now, I'm under no impression that I will be, or, I don't expect anyone to be holding the same pace on things like the box jumps from their first to their 5th round. I should say from their first minute to their 15th minute round. Oh, cool. Monster Energy drinks in the background. That's awesome. Good choice, CrossFit. But he just doesn't change. As soon as his second foot hits the floor, boom, he's back up and going. Good thing we did all those burpee box jumps the other day, so you're real familiar with this part of the movement. Now, it does have to be a 2-foot takeoff in the rules. I gave it like a really quick skim. It has to be a 2-foot takeoff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do the 1-2 landing. But again, I will reiterate that a 2-foot landing is the safest way to jump over the box. Yeah, those tape marks look like they're in the... Are they... Oh no, if you look at them relative to the white open sticker thing... Get out of the way, everybody. Oh, no, they do look like kind of the same height. I don't know, we'll have to check the rulebook, make sure it's the same measurements. And yeah, I did notice that tape line next to the boxes there, so there might be some sort of rule on that. Okay, turns out there is a rule on that. So, 10 inches from the wall to the far side of the tape mark, chalk mark, and the plyo box has to be 9 feet. Oh, the plyo box line, so it has to be 9 feet from the wall. Yeah, I don't know why they do stuff like that sometimes. Berg did say, the Castro replacement guy did say that they changed some stuff to consider some gyms that are still closed or operating under tape lines or something, which we definitely also did. Wow, set distances for guys and girls. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because when I saw the yellow tape lines for those guys, I was like, I'm pretty sure Noah Olsen is like a foot shorter than Pat Vellner, so they should have very different tape lines. But all right, so 1.52 meters for the boys. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's around my shoulder height, and 55 and 1.40 meters for the girls. Ooh, I wonder what 60-inch sales we can get on eBay. Oh, so yeah, back to the 9-foot thing. So 9 feet, our floor mats are 1 meter each. So just make sure your box is 3 floor mats out from the wall. Should be pretty easy to do that. And yeah, they got that same rule as last year. So not only do you need to get your feet on the wall before your hands can leave that line, you have to get your hands back to that line before your feet can leave the wall. And the rep counts when your chest comes back to the floor. Now, dumbbell snatch. Let me just double check the 2 heads on the floor thing here. Overhead 1 motion, clean jerk not allowed. Yep, standard stuff. Touch and go permitted. Bouncing the dumbbell is not allowed. Yeah. Athletes must alternate after each repetition and may not alternate till successful rep is achieved. All right, so that's that thing that I sort of touched on earlier. So if you do a good one on your right arm, and then you swap hands and you go down and maybe you don't touch the floor at all, and then you come up on the left arm, you have to then go back and do another complete one on the left arm. So if you get it overhead, this is where the judges, you'll have to yell out really clearly, no rep, so that they don't already change the dumbbell back into the right hand. They keep it in the left so that they can get their successful rep. Otherwise, they might do a whole one on the right one, still doesn't count, then they go back to the left and now it counts. So now they've done sort of 3 reps for getting only 1 rep. Oh yeah, standard one here, the non-lifting arm cannot make contact with the legs or any of the parts of the body during the repetition. So like old mate in the demo here has. Actually, I would say that's not even a great demo, because you're saying the hand or arm may not make contact with the legs or other parts. From where I'm standing, it looks like that arm is flush on that leg, so bad photo. That's why we always stress, like, you just have that spare arm just like blank out to the side. Rep is credited, everything locked out overhead, dumbbells clearly over the middle of the blah, 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 blah. Athletes may not receive assistance moving or resetting the dumbbell. And that's something that we will not have to worry about because we don't drop dumbbells because we're not shitty people. Oh, okay, so sorry, I missed it. It's in the very first dot point right here. The dumbbell snatch starts with both heads of the dumbbell on the ground. So that means even when we're doing our touch and goes, we have to bring both heads back to the ground every single time. Duh. Jump over standards. Athletes start both feet on the ground on one side of the box. Do not angle the box or jump from the corner. Yep, cool. A lateral jump is permitted, and you can do just a clean jump over the box. So if you just, but you'll notice that none of the games athletes chose to do that, so maybe it's not a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to go for like a 45-degree angle, so not quite facing, but not quite dead side on. 2-foot takeoff is always required. And again, that leads into more or less a 2-foot landing. Only the athlete's foot may touch the box. Yep, cool. So yeah, if you stumble, so only the athlete's feet may touch the box. So if you stuff up the box jump and you catch a shin, but then you somehow end up on top of the box, if your knees or your hands have touched the top of the box, like, I'm sorry that your shins hurt now, but that rep doesn't count. So unless it's bad enough that you're exiting the workout, you got to get off and do another jump. Sorry. And you must step off the other side. Yeah, that's cool. I really like that. That's awesome. Oh yeah, may jump completely over the box. All you. There is no requirement to stand tall on top of the box. Yeah, cool. But sometimes it's actually a great thing to do. If you're completely stuffed, your quads and your calves will be happiest just standing tall. Well, maybe lying down, but standing tall. So if you want to stand on top of the box to take a moment's breather, that's not a bad idea. The scorecard pretty much just reiterates the workout here. Touches back on the weights and heights. I like it how the scorecard goes all the way up to 15 rounds. No, all right, let's jump back and look at ads. Ooh, athlete comparison. They're good and they're fit and they both use Monster Energy drink to support their training, probably. All right, yeah, don't do that. If you really want to do that, you can do that. But all right. That's something I want to touch on. Equipment. So you notice that Brandon doesn't have anything, I think, on her wrists. But Shadsy, she does have her sweatbands on. That's what I'd be going for. Just sweatbands. I don't feel my wrist wraps give me any great advantage on this stuff, but I do want to keep... Oh, make a note there. Let's look at their start position. But I do want to keep sweat from getting onto my hands, both for the wall walking and for the... dumbbell snatches. You're rolling sweat down and you're getting sweaty palms and you're sweating on the floor. Mate, within 10 wall walks, you've got like a legitimately dangerous situation. So let's make a point to get some sweatbands on there. If you don't have sweatbands, you don't need to go buy them. Do what I do. Cut up an old pair of socks and just put the tubey bit on your arm. It's awesome. It works. Do 2 pairs if you're concerned. I'm not sure if you had to start facing the wall. The workout begins with the athlete standing behind the line facing the wall. Okay, so we have to face the wall when we start. Good to know. All right, down they go. You see that? Look at it. What's that? 15 seconds. So 5 seconds per wall walk for these girls. But have a look at Danielle Brandon here. Whew, hang on, can I slow this down? I think I can. So it's YouTube. Let me just slow this down to like the absolute. Now I've got this running at 1/4 normal speed. Now, what we want to see, does Danielle Brandon here on the left, does she get that second foot, which is her right foot, up before her hands move? Let's have a look. I'll try and pause it. All right. 1 leg up, 2 legs. Oh! Busted, Danielle Brandon. Busted. So as you can see, her right foot not on the wall, still in the air there. That's the right foot there. And that hand is already very much off the floor there. Look, that right foot's still not on the wall, and she is well off. Okay, now before we go to her Instagram and just bombard her with hate. No, I'm kidding. That's, look, that's an easy thing to do, I'm sure. Let's just do a quick double check into those rules. Both hands must scroll down. Both hands must remain on the tape until both feet are on the wall. Okay, so we've confirmed that is the rule. And let's have a look. Is this a common thing? We'll watch Bethany Shadburn here over on the other side. Okay, hand is well off. Yeah, look at that. The hand is miles away. But if we fast forward, how are they like 15 minutes later? It's a crappy camera angle. It looks like she's going to be better at it now. No, I'm pretty sure that thing still moved before the second foot. They'll go back and look at these things and they'll adjust what needs to be adjusted, and they might do it again, who knows. But don't put that pressure, or their judges might have said something after the first round, like, hey, first warning, final warning, don't do that shit. So don't put that pressure on the person judging you. This is going to be just someone that you know, someone from class. So don't put that pressure on them. Make sure that all your stuff is above question. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this video down to less, because so far now I've been talking for about 40 minutes according to my timer over there. Anyway, thanks for listening to my ramble on the open. I'll see hopefully all of you in there tomorrow. We'll have the doors up from 7. A couple of people have to get out kind of early because they've got kids sport and stuff. So get in at 7, just start warming yourself up. I'll have a warm up on the board. And now, if you are not doing the open this year, if you're not officially signed up, come on down. This is the workout you're doing. But obviously you have a lot more flexibility in what we can change about the movements. If there's people available, I think it would still be cool to have someone count for you, because it just adds a lot of fun to the workout. But yeah, so there's no need for anyone to shy away from the gym at all tomorrow. We're still having our big Super Saturday, same times. Come on down, get your fitness. I'll see you then.